you have just escaped Slubadop. You've just gone through the gates, and you traveled about an hour down the tunnels, not really choosing a direction in particular. Like you're just getting away as far away as possible from Slubadop. And after only about an hour, you're just so exhausted from the fight and from running that you collapse. You can't do anymore. So I'm not even gonna say watch, because I think you're all just so exhausted. There's no way that you can really like stay up enough to watch. I think the only person that could is Crow. So I think Crow, I will have you do one perception check just to see if anything happens throughout the night of everyone just being exhausted, like just being knocked out. Even anyone that I don't remember if anyone else has where they only have to do 4 hours of a long rest. I can't remember if anyone in the group can do that, but regardless of if you can or not, you sleep the whole 8 hours, like maybe even more than that.
My gosh.
I got a 12.
Yeah, so like even though you don't need sleep, you are also kind of just battling these thoughts that are going through your head. Like you knew that was a demon lord. You haven't talked to anyone about it yet because there really was no way to really talk. All you could do is just run for that hour. And you're kind of just you're trying to cycle through everything that you've seen. You're trying to figure out what to do. Like what happened? Why did that happen? What's gonna happen now? Like you're just cycling through all that stuff. So you don't really like, you're watching and nothing comes, but you don't know if like anything has been watching you, or like you can't really tell outside of your little area, your little group, like what's going on. Yeah, after 8 hours, I'd even say after 10 hours of sleeping, like you're just so exhausted that you even sleep a little bit longer than you normally would. You all do wake up, and Sereth kind of, he looks exhausted still. You all feel exhausted still. You don't have a level of exhaustion, but you still feel really tired. Sereth kind of like turns to all of you, and I'm glad that we made it out alive. That was, what was that?
That was not very nice.
No, I don't think it was. But like, that was that creature. It was. Did you feel the power coming out of it?
I definitely did. I think we are all very lucky to be alive, and maybe we got in a little too far in over our heads for this whole thing.
Jim Jar actually like pipes up and says, "Well, actually, I don't think we did anything wrong. I mean, yeah, maybe going into the city and like doing that whole shenanigans with the like killing the daughter thing, that might have like been our problem, our fault. You might have done something bad with that. But like, I don't think we really did anything wrong. That probably would have happened regardless if we were there or not, so meh."
Yeah, I don't really care about all the other people, but it was bad that we were there, is I guess what I meant.
Prince Darendelle definitely kind of pipes up and goes, "Well, I say that was not fun. I almost died. I cannot believe I almost died. I'm not supposed to be in fights. I'm supposed to command the troops to the fights. I don't know why we were even in that town. We shouldn't have even been there. We should be in a much more heavily populated city to be able to get out of this darkness. Where do we go now? Like I cannot just sit here in these slums of a tunnel. I'm very upset right now."
Yeah, where are we going now? I kind of lost track after all that. Is Stool still with us?
Yep.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I've been thinking about we should try and get Stool back to his family.
Yeah, so I don't know where we are. I mean, I don't think we're far from Slubadop. We didn't really like travel that far after the incident. So I think we're still close to the Dark Lake, I believe. So we're kind of on the opposite side of where my home is. Which like we knew, but like I don't know what the best way to get there is. I mean, I'm not really sure. I'm kind of traumatized right now.
Can I just pick up Stool and hold him?
Yeah, you definitely can.
I'm just gonna pick him up and hold him and just kind of like pat his head.
He's like shivering.
Be like, it's okay.
Shaking some spores on your shoulder. Not like menacingly, just like some spores are just coming off of him.
He's mushroom crying.
Yeah.
Yes.
Paige walks over and kicks you in the shin.
Yeah, I'm sure
and
that
then does
hurt.
the up arm things to Crow. I pick him up.
Seraph has been kind of sitting, you're also sitting. You haven't really moved yet. Seraph has been kind of staring off in space, listening to all of you talk, and he goes, "Well, we're not far from the Dark Lake. You're right. I think I don't really know these tunnels as well as I did when we were getting to Subidop, but I believe if we went down a little bit more, we should be able to hit the Dark Lake again. There's quite a few tunnels that would lead to the Dark Lake. I believe our only options really are to either go across the Dark Lake, find some sort of a boat vessel to be able to get past it. I mean, I've seen some Zerkwood. We might be able to build one to be able to get through. I'm sure we can find some Zerkwood trees close to the Dark Lake if we were to go a little bit farther, and might be able to build a raft or a boat of some sort to cross the Dark Lake. That would be the most direct way to get to Neverlight Grove. Was it, Stool? Yeah, that's where my home is. It's on the other side. It is a little far from here still. Yes, so we can either go through the Dark Lake. Again, the most direct, maybe not the safest way, although none of these ways are safe, as we've seen. We could also continue along this path and go around the long way of the Dark Lake. We might encounter some other cities along the way, although I don't really know much about those cities. I just know that there are a few. One of them I know is pretty heavily drow based, which I don't know if we necessarily want to go near. And then the other option, I believe, would be to kind of head back the way we came and to go towards Gracklestug. I know that's along the path to get to Neverlight Grove as well. It's just a different way.
I like the idea of getting across the lake as fast as possible. But that big scary monster that hecked us all up, it did go back into the lake?
Yeah.
Yes, I don't know what the likelihood of us finding that creature again is, but even so, there are quite a few other dangers in the lake, and we would be at a very big disadvantage of being in a single raft.
I'm afraid that if we go through other towns, that if we run into any hostiles and we have to kill them, that it might summon it back, thinking it's more sacrifices.
That sounds very bad.
Would you rather fight multiple smaller enemies, or take the chance on possibly fighting one large enemy?
So Crow, I will say,
duck or 10 duck-sized horses.
Exactly.
Crow, I will tell you this, because you had done a religion check while you were in that fight, and you were the one that discovered that the reason why the Demogorgon was there was because of that death of the archpriest. Although you're not an expert at it, you imagine that was a very, very specific, very important death that happened at that time. That just because you guys kill things doesn't necessarily mean that it will return to where you are. It was just that very specific moment and that death caused it to come.
I share this information.
Yeah, so it's not necessarily a worry that if you kill things, it's going to come. It's just that things like that, like very specific, big events, could cause him to return, possibly.
I vote Blake then.
I vote doubling back.
Does anyone actually know how to build a raft or a boat?
I don't know how to build a raft or a boat, so...
Is there a ferryman across the lake?
I mean, there wasn't Slubidop.
This giant geese, and we just hop on its back.
There were quite a few fishermen in boats at Slubidop that you potentially could have talked to if it didn't get destroyed.
Yeah, I was gonna say, are there? Can we pillage their their effects?
Boats.
Sarah goes, so would you want to risk going back? We could look and see if there's anything remaining.
Silo is making that I don't trust that face from the meme.
Yeah, I don't like that idea either, Silo.
I vote for doubling back and going the short way from the meme.
I will point out, I don't mean to push you in any direction. I will help you guys in any way that I can. Going back to Gracklestug would probably be our best option because I know that town is safe, well, safer than other towns we might encounter the other way. It does have a very big trading post. We might be able to find some stuff that would be useful.
I agree.
I do like the idea of at least getting a good night's rest somewhere safe before we nail down our next move.
I also seem to have discovered the ability to create food and water out of nothing, so...
Jim Jar pipes up and goes, well, why are you holding out on us? Why haven't you been doing that? We're starving here.
I am pretty hungry.
I just realized I had the knowledge.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well, can we continue to have this conversation over breakfast then?
Sure, I mean, I can try it. I don't know how good the food will taste.
So, remind me again, how much food do you create?
45 pounds of food and 30 gallons of water on the ground or in containers within range, enough to sustain up to 15 humanoids or 5 steeds for 24 hours.
Oh, yeah.
The food is bland but nourishing and spoils if uneaten after 24 hours. The water is clean and doesn't go bad. So, the food will spoil, but the water won't.
Yep. So, yeah, I'd say, like, you kind of conjure up this food. You ask people to give you their water skins, and you're able to kind of, like, fill them all up.
Question, does it use a spell slot?
Is it a spell?
It is a spell. Create food and water.
What spell level is it? Like
third level conjuration.
It will... I mean, do you have a 3rd level spell slot?
It says casting time 1 action.
No. Do you have a 3rd level spell slot?
I mean, I'm 3rd level now.
Yeah, that doesn't matter, though.
I once made that mistake. I'm imagining 45 pounds of food vanishing before our eyes.
Yeah, you do it, and then all of a sudden, it turns to dust.
It's like fizzling in and out.
Yeah, you don't have a 3rd level spell slot.
You have 3 first level.
You don't get it until 9th level.
I won't be able to cast that until level 9.
Yep. So yeah, you can't do that.
Never mind. Forget that whole conversation.
Oh no, you said that conversation, then you tried, and you just. I'm gonna say, you know what?
Like a pile of mud.
Roll percentile dice.
That's lovely.
Roll percentile dice.
Like in Breath of the Wild when you fuck up a dish and.
Yeah.
It just goes.
I love how Xavier just quickly rises in the ranks of most hated party member.
I'm not most hated. Oh my god, 70.
Yeah, you try, and you like your face is kind of turning red because you're like something should happen,
I'm like,
and yeah, you fart a little.
I just never. A wind blows in front of me, but nothing else.
Yep.
I'm just gonna walk over here now. Just kind of go sit in the corner.
So yeah, you guys. I don't think anyone has any. Like, does anyone have any rations left at this point?
I'm not sure how many.
Is there any grass? Can I graze on it?
There isn't any grass. You've only really experienced some areas that had mushrooms. Although you still don't really know what's like toxic and what's okay to eat.
I'm level 9.
No.
I have 9 rations, not level
Okay, I was gonna say.
Xavier was so embarrassed that he leveled up to the level he could use the spell at.
Yep.
I'll show you levels up.
Do I see any food that would be considered edible to people?
Right now, there aren't any mushrooms in the cave that you're at. Sarah does kind of pipe up and say, "Well, if we get closer to the Dark Lake, we'll probably see quite a few forms of mushrooms, since it's near water. If you'd like to go, it'd be a little out of the way, but we could go in that direction for probably a day's travel and maybe forage a little bit. But we still have the risk of not knowing what's good to eat and what's not."
Well, that's why I'm asking, because like.
Oh, do you know?
Yeah, like I'm old and.
Yeah.
Roll and like I'm a cleric. Do I know of mushrooms that could be used as food?
Roll a history check.
9.
You didn't really look too much into it, only because you never have to eat, so you only really looked at it to help others. You feel like if you saw a mushroom, you might be able to figure it out, but you're not sure. like nothing immediately pops up in your mind that you can immediately tell them like, oh yeah, this type of mushroom is fine. But if you were to see it, you might be able to figure it out. Okay, so Xavier has 9 rations left. Does anyone else have any rations?
Y'all.
Arendelle is a ration.
Okay, so
I don't.
so
Don't eat him. He's having an identity crisis. Leave him alone.
so then if there's only 9 rations left, I'll say you can split it up so that everyone gets some food, but everyone will be a little hungry. So like, and not to the point where it's going to give you a level of exhaustion, but you will have a little bit of a hard, like you won't be able to really like push walking. Like you're going to have to travel a little less today because you're hungry. So if you want to split up those 9 rations between all of you, and I'm talking about like Stool and all of them too, like not Stool, but like all the other NPCs. You can do that. It will make it go a little, like the progress will go a little slower just because of it. But at least everyone would eat for today. Is the point? I guess Xavier, that's your decision. Like, do you hand out the rations but like split it up so that's even?
Just gonna hide my face, open my bag, and like shove the rations out to everybody while looking away. Like just wave them around and be like, split them up.
Okay, so yeah, you kind of like haphazardly split up the rations. I feel like some take a little bit more than others just because, you know,
Darendelle.
they decide that that's appropriate for their station. But for the most part, everyone gets at least some food, and they feel like they're okay for the day. So Sarah, after you guys take a moment to eat. Like you don't necessarily go right away to walk, but then after you eat, Sarah does get up and say, "Okay, well, we should probably get going. What direction do you want to head?" So your options again were find the Dark Lake and go across it on some sort of a raft. Continue the direction that you guys are heading and potentially encounter a city before Neverlight Grove, or kind of not head back exactly the way you came, but loop back around so that you can get to Gragglestug.
Does Sarah know how long it might take us to cross the lake?
Well, I've never crossed the lake personally, but depending on how fast we row and whatever gets in our way in the meantime, it might only take 13 days. That is a lot of rowing.
Yeah, we shouldn't get on the water without enough food to last that long. I know we can fish, but we should have some bread and stuff.
You magically make the boat go faster.
I mean, yeah, that's obviously an option.
Does anyone
I
have?
don't want to starve on the middle of the water.
Yeah, Seraph looks like that's not the like. Whenever he mentions the Dark Lake, like crossing the Dark Lake, he doesn't seem like he's okay with that option because of exactly what you guys are mentioning, like the food, how long it's gonna take, still the dangers that could happen, the like limited space you guys have to be able to fight those dangers. Like
We cannibalize each other on the boat. Okay.
he's not saying no, but he's definitely not okay with that option.
He's not saying no, but he's saying no.
His face is saying no, but his words are saying that's an option.
Well, that's all I need to know to cross that off my personal list of options.
Yeah.
I think we should try to get to the next town then.
People are friendlier there. They don't have a cult.
Well, if we were to head to Gracklestug, as far as I know, there are no cults. They're not exactly the greatest people, but we should be able to go there without any trouble.
The bar is pretty low as far as people goes.
Especially since one of our options is potentially running into a drow-infested city, which would be the way we're
Yeah,
going.
that's what I mean. For once I wasn't talking about you, Xavier.
I'm just gonna kind of huff and like slide my foot against the ground and kick up some dirt. Like, fine.
So, do we want to loop back around then? Is that the option you guys are taking?
I start walking.
I think we should find a city and try to kill. Wait, fuck. Elaborate.
Wow, voice crack.
Gracklestug will be the closest city. It's 10
Yeah,
days away. It's about 10 days away from here if I no, that is a path I can confidently lead us. It would take about 10 days from where we are.
I'm going then.
Yeah, we're good.
Prince Darendel's like, I don't care. I just need to find people. We need to band together and get a bigger group so that we can take on all these ruffians that we keep running into. Jim Jar does not seem pleased by that. It's like, I mean, we're already hungry. We don't need more people. Hey, you do you, big guy. Big prince guy. What are you the prince of again? Well, the elves, of course. Can't you tell? Oh, yeah. Elves. Sure. Yeah, so you guys travel down, you do go forward. You do go, like, in the opposite direction of Sleep Without, but then after about an hour, you do notice that it splits. One kind of goes to the left a little bit, and the other one goes to the right, but it looks like it's a pretty sharp turn. And he kind of leads you more towards that direction, towards the, like, sharper tunnel, as you start leading towards, well, you're imagining towards Gracklestug. You travel through the day without really any issues. Nothing jumps out at you. Nothing seems to bother you. Is there anything that you do during this travel? Like, is there anything that you want to talk about? Is there anything that you want to try and figure out as characters during this travel, whether it's with other characters or just yourself? Because you definitely have had a really traumatic experience. So,
Do we sing some walking songs to bond together?
I mean, Seamus can sing if she would like to.
Yeah, I'll sing. Do I have a clear memory of beating the shit out of Aspen?
Yeah, you were conscious during that. You just didn't, like, you at the time felt like that was right. And even now, you're kind of, like, fighting yourself a little bit about that. Like, you know that was wrong. You're friends with Aspen. But for some reason, at that time, it felt like the right thing to do.
Hard feelings. I go up and I'm like, sing me a song about it, Bard.
Sing me a song about when my friend punched me in the face and knocked me out.
Yeah, it'll help us.
Sing me a song, Piano Bard.
I start singing a song about Scylla kicking. Oh God, Aspen, is that your name?
Yeah.
Yeah, Aspen's ass, I guess.
Yep.
It's Aston, like Aston Martin. I'm just kidding.
No, Aspen, like the
No, I
tree.
know.
Sean
Oh,
Aspen.
God.
Say Aston the entire time.
Roll a
Aston, like the tree.
performance check, Seamus.
Oh, it's gonna perform.
Yeah, I want to see how well you do with this song.
Okay, I'm just gonna hit it on my character sheet.
Completely off key, and all we hear are verbally nails on a chalkboard.
It's wild.
You know, you're still pretty tired, and it's been a while since you've, like, performed like this. So you sing, and I mean, the lyrics are good. Like, you definitely can come up with lyrics pretty well. It's just, for some reason, you're just not, like, your lute or whatever it is that you play is very out of tune. So it's like, it just does not sound good, and you don't really want to take the time to, like, sit down and tune it. So you just plow through it anyway, because everyone wants you to sing. It's kind of bad. It gets to the point where you're irritating yourself, so you stop playing, but you just keep singing anyway. And, like, you're not good at acapella, so it's, it's just a struggle.
Yeah, I'm definitely saying Aston with a
Yeah.
T in.
T
So this is just the opposite of raising everyone's spirits.
Yeah, a little bit. Makes you go a little slower, and Prince Darendel definitely, like, covers his ears very visibly and goes, well, please stop that. I did not ask for you to be my court jester.
Oh.
This one's for Aston.
Well, you...
Out all my Astons out there.
I do not know any Astons.
This is making Scylla feel like shit in general.
Is there anything else that anyone wants to do during this walk?
Did Darendel eat his provisions?
Yes.
Okay.
Should we forage?
Yeah, so can everyone roll a survival check? Scylla, Pidge, Aspen, and Crow. You all are able to find some food. So along this path you notice that there's, like, these mushrooms that kind of have, like, a red top to them, and then, like, the stalk itself is kind of like this grayish color. And I'm not even gonna have you roll for it, Crow, because you look at it and this is like the one that you actually do remember. It's not the best mushroom, but it's edible and it will fill you guys up. It's kind of like a hot spicy mushroom, so like it's really good for like flavorings for stews and stuff. But you can just eat it plain. It's just gonna be a little spicy. It's called a fire lichen. So you do see quite a few groupings of fire lichen throughout this part of the cave, throughout this tunnel. Each of you that I named, so that was again Scylla, Pidge, Aspen, and Crow. You each find about 16 pounds of food altogether. Like it was actually a very good. Like the tunnel that you guys were going down was actually like there were quite a few.
I give my food to everyone else because I don't eat.
How does that transfer into rations?
So, pound of food and a gallon of water is required every day to be well fed.
A
So,
lot of water.
yeah, it is a lot of water. But, yeah, and unfortunately you didn't find any water. It was just food that you found. So, yeah, you guys have, like, so just mark down that you have 16 pounds between the four of you, like, for each four of you.
Did someone else take my 16 pounds?
Yeah, you can give that to anyone.
I don't need them.
I'll hold on to it and combine it.
Okay.
Well, no, your 9 is gone, Xavier.
Yeah, I was just gonna say. I just said, well, I'll just hold on to it.
Yeah.
Pidge slaps Xavier's hand as he goes to take it and then shoves it into his feathers.
I give it to Pidge.
Honestly, you're shoving the feathers.
Pidge, there is no way you can hold that food. I'm sorry.
I give Pidge 2 pounds of food.
I'm gonna go in and start shoving my hands through Pidge's feathers.
Oh my gosh. Okay, well, Pidge
Don't
put
do
down
that.
Pidge put down 2 more pounds of food for yours, and Xavier put down you have 14.
Okay.
Yeah. So other than that, you guys were so you didn't see any water sources, which was the problem. But yeah, you guys get through this day's journey pretty well. Like I said, you weren't able to go as far as you could have normally gone just because you were pretty tired. But with this like amount of food that you were able to find throughout the way, you feel pretty confident that you'll be good for quite a while now.
As far as water goes, I can create water. So I think, like, if we have storage for X number of gallons, I can just create water every day.
You should all have water skins. So
Yeah.
is that a spell?
Create or destroy water. It's one of my first
Oh.
level spells.
Yep.
I would do it at the end of the day, like when we rested up.
Yeah.
I would create and destroy water, and then yeah.
Okay, so just keep that in mind. If there's ever a day where you have combat and you don't have the spell slots for it, please let me know, so that we all know that you guys don't have water for that day.
Okay.
Otherwise, I'll just assume that you do that at the end of every day.
Yeah.
Yeah. So at the end of this day, I would believe you would make the water for everyone, and everyone gets a good drink, get a good drink in for traveling that far without any water at that point.
I can create up to 10 gallons.
Oh yeah, that's more than enough for all of you. Actually, that's just enough for all of you. So yeah, you guys have a good meal of fire lichen and water, which you definitely need the water after eating that much spicy mushrooms. And yeah, you bed for the night. Now, is there any kind of order for watch that you guys would like to have?
I'll take first watch.
Okay. So Shamid, you could take first watch.
I'll take second watch.
I'll take third then.
Okay.
I'll take whatever's left.
Yeah, I think between the 4 of you, if you do 2 hour watches, should be good. Okay, so and then Crow, you're always awake technically.
Yeah.
So, and just for the record, George, whenever I say roll perception for whoever, just roll one for yourself too.
Okay.
So I don't have to keep asking. So yeah, Aspen, go ahead, or not Aspen. Shamid, go ahead and roll a perception check. 13. Oh, both of you. Yeah, so you're kind of looking back and forth. This is the very beginning of your rest, so you feel pretty tired, but you're able to still kind of like keep watch without really veering off. You don't see anything. Seems like it's pretty quiet. You don't hear anything either. So you're good. Now, Scylla, go ahead and roll yours. Okay, so both of you don't really see anything. You're kind of like, Scylla, you're still pretty beat up by doing what you did to Aspen. So you're not really like paying too much attention to like watching. And Crow, you're still kind of cycling through your knowledge of everything. Speaking of which, is there anything that you are trying to remember or trying to figure out in particular? Like, is there anything that you're trying to like work through your backdrive of memories?
I would think I would feel a little bit weird after that fight. So I'm trying to think of any possible things that might be wrong with me.
Okay. How are you going to go about this? Are you trying to remember if you've ever been like this before, or are you trying to figure out if like you've seen someone else with this issue or like heard of other people with this issue?
Second.
Okay. Go ahead then and roll. I guess it would just be history. I was trying to see if there was any other skill that would make sense, but history is the only one that I could think of.
17.
So, you have heard of soldiers with an issue similar to this. Although, when you realize this, you kind of feel stupid thinking about this only because, of course, this is like an issue that a lot of soldiers have, and it's like that PTSD of kind of hearing yourself argue. You know, like that you think that you made the wrong decision, so you're arguing with yourself about it, and you kind of like relive that moment constantly. That's the only thing that you're really thinking of that like makes sense for how you're feeling, is that you wonder if like maybe you made a wrong decision, or like that there's something's bothering you, and that's why you're like you feel this argument internally with yourself. Is that like there must be something that had happened that you can't remember that's causing it, or at least that if you were to relate it to those memories, that's to say, like, I'm not saying that that's necessarily how you feel. It's just like that's the only thing that you could think of that's like comparable to how you're feeling.
Gotcha.
It's basically just PTSD, which, I mean, if I was a robot, I probably wouldn't even consider that, because like, you know, your brain doesn't work like humans or humanoids, so it's kind of hard to tell if like that is helpful for you or not. Okay, so that was Sila's turn. Next up was Aspen. So go ahead and roll a perception. Okay. Yeah, Aspen, you kind of have like you watch, and you don't notice anything. Like you're watching, but it's not like you don't really know what direction to watch. You're kind of watching both directions. You know, you don't feel like you're really like staying like long enough on each direction to know if you see anything. Like nothing comes at you, at least. Crow, kind of the same. Like you're doing a little better this time after you like kind of thought about that for a little while. And yeah, you don't quite see anything. And then Xavier, roll perception. Xavier, you're tired. You just woke up, and you're not really feeling this watch thing. Crow, you notice that Xavier isn't really paying attention. He's actually kind of falling asleep. But Crow, you do hear like a rumble come from the direction you're heading. It only happens once. It's almost too quiet. Like you almost didn't hear it. And then it stops. Like you don't hear it again for the rest of the watch. So yeah, everyone wakes up at this point. It's the next day. Yeah, Sarah goes, okay, well, let's continue on, right?
Yeah, let's keep going.
But when everyone wakes up, I just say good morning.
Good
morning.
Do you normally say good morning to everyone?
No.
Okay, I was gonna say that Sarah is definitely like, hello. Okay. Yeah, so go ahead. Those of you that have rations, go ahead and mark off. To make it easier on all of us, mark 2 rations removed, because that way it kind of accounts for all the NPCs as well. So all of you that have rations, take away 2. Xavier, for you, just take away 1, because you kind of got extra rations, sort of. Okay, yeah, so you guys continue on. After a little while, so after like maybe a couple hours of traveling down, like you kind of take a left and a right and a left as you go down a couple different tunnels. Sarah seems like he's pretty comfortable with the direction he's going. He seems pretty confident. And I mean, you don't really see any mushrooms kind of growing on the sides. This is a pretty barren area. But it seems like there's no dangers. Like you don't see any spider webs or anything like that. You do, however, hear, after another hour or so of traveling, a rumble. It kind of sounds like it's kind of hard to tell. It's still kind of distant, but you hear like a. Sarah definitely stops and goes, Did you all hear that?
Yeah, I heard that.
Why don't all of you roll another survival check? Scylla and Pidge, you both, when you hear it, think that sounded like rubble, like rocks falling. So you're wondering if it may be a cave-in that you just heard from like the distance, and it must have like echoed to you.
Can we tell what direction it comes from?
I mean, right now it's just straight ahead. There's no from where you are right now. There is no turns. It is just a straight tunnel. So as far as you know, it's straight ahead. Oh well, if it's not, I don't see anything. So I guess let's just go on and be prepared.
I think we should be really careful. I think that was rocks falling.
Rocks. These tunnels are pretty sturdy. I haven't heard of them falling.
Well, that's what it sounded like to me.
Well, I guess we'll. Just be wary, everyone. Just kind of watch where you're going, and maybe check the walls once in a while and see if you see any cracks. It's strange. Like, he just kind of starts mumbling to himself a little bit, just from being like, I've never heard that before. These tunnels don't cave in. Like what? No, couldn't it be? And you travel like this for another few hours. You do hear another rumble at one point, and it sounded like it came from behind you this time, but you don't see anything exactly. Finally, you do come to a rest after traveling for quite a while again. And Sarah's been kind of agitated, you can tell a little bit. Like, it's not that he has been going the wrong way. Like, he seems still pretty confident in, like, directions he's going. But he's been kind of, like, his eyes have been shifting. He's been mumbling to himself a lot more. Whenever you talk to him, he seems like he, like, kind of snaps out of it and, like, talks normally. But then after, like, a time, he will kind of, like, start mumbling to himself again.
Hey, did we ever fix I can't remember if we ever fixed our brain fungus.
No, you didn't.
Ah.
You didn't get a chance to ask anyone.
Oh, God, no.
But yeah, so most of you seem to have, like, some sort of dusting in, like, an orifice, like an ear or a nose. You've been told that, like, maybe this isn't a good thing, that, like, it could get much worse. Like, right now it's not really affecting anyone, but it could get really bad. It could spread. And you were going to try to get it fixed, except, Sloobadop kind of died. It got destroyed.
Yeah, we dropped a lot of balls with less Sloobadop blood.
Yeah. But yeah, so you guys finally had to take a rest where you stopped. We'll go ahead and continue the watch order that we had started. So, who is first? Shamid, why don't you go ahead and roll a perception check? Yeah. And Crow, you can go ahead and roll too. Shamid, is there anything that you do during your 2 hours? Or think about?
Yeah, I'm gonna be looking at my book, and I'm gonna be I'm gonna try to make another attempt to, see if I can understand what it's saying.
Out of curiosity, are you trying to hide? Because, like, at this point, I think it's pretty obvious that Crow doesn't sleep. Are you trying to hide it from him, or are you, like, just openly, like, reading a book?
I mean, it's not obvious that I don't sleep. I literally, like, it looks like that I'm not functioning.
Okay.
Like, my eyes do dim.
That's fair.
It's just that I physically can't sleep.
Okay, so I'll change that slightly. Do you like hide reading the book, or do you kind of like trust that everyone's sleeping, so you're just like reading a book?
I'm reading a book. I'm like not being suspicious about reading a book, but I am not revealing the cover to people.
Yeah.
Or anything like that.
Why don't you roll an Arcana check? Now roll a performance check. So,
oh my gosh.
you're like reading a new page, so you were able to read that one page and kind of get a little bit of an idea. You're starting to get a cipher a little bit. So you're kind of reading through the next page, trying to like find those words that you were able to read and use those letters to be able to read more words. And you're not doing a good job. It's really hard. It's probably because you're tired. But unfortunately, you're kind of mumbling a little. You're saying these things out loud. You're trying to say these things and you're being a little louder than you want it to be. Crow, you do hear this. Whether you do anything or not about it,
I don't.
You may not have really cared at first, but now you definitely hear Aspen. I keep wanting to say Aspen. Shamid, you hear like mumblings. Actually, why don't you go ahead and roll an insight check, Crow?
12.
You know it's not common, and you're pretty sure it's not a language that Well, I mean, it's kind of hard to tell if you know what languages Shaman speaks, but you know it's not common. It kind of sounds mumbly. Yeah, so yeah, you're not really getting anywhere with it tonight. You feel like you need to just try again another day. Okay, so that is your turn. Now it is Scylla.
Yeah, I rolled an 11.
Yep. Crow, why don't you go ahead and roll another one too? Yeah, so you both kind of are watching, like nothing really happens. You don't really notice anything. Is there anything that you do during your watch, Scylla?
I might like take out my little arcane focus and play with my teeny tiny sea monster in a glass orb, but
Okay.
that's it. Like an open sea serpent shrunk down to like the size of a mouse.
Yeah, so your watch kind of goes uneventful. Like nothing really happens. You're just kind of playing around with your little trinket. Okay, next up is Aspen. Aspen, is there anything that you're doing during your watch?
Yeah, I'll kind of look up at what would be the sky and see if there's anything up there.
Yeah, you look up and like it's not a high ceiling. This is actually one of the lower ceilings that you guys were traveling down. And I mean it just looks like dark rock. Like it's kind of, I don't know, it's kind of boring, but at the same time calming because like not much has changed. And you're probably wishing that you did see the stars right now. Yes, you're kind of like looking at the ceiling, like kind of glancing left and right to make sure nothing happens, but you don't see anything. Crow, you've been watching, pretty well. You're paying attention. You feel like rumbling. Like you feel rumbling, and it's very, very minor. But you're pretty sensitive, so you start to feel like the ground shake a little bit. And it's not just like a 1 second thing. Like it's shaking.
But it's not like an earthquake or anything, right?
Roll an insight check.
10 plus 3, I think.
I mean, you're not sure. Like, it's not necessarily an earthquake, because you are pretty deep in the earth. You don't know if that's really how that works. But you're wondering if maybe it's something causing it, because it is starting to get stronger. Aspen, you still don't really notice it yet, because it's pretty minor. But, like, Crow is, like, I'm imagining Crow is pretty sensitive to these kind of things. So, like, you're like, you feel the earth shaking a little bit, and it's getting a little stronger every minute or two. It's getting stronger.
Does he tell me this?
I don't say it. I'm still asleep. Air quotes.
Okay. After like another 5-10 minutes, Aspen, you start to feel the ground shake.
I'm gonna nudge Crow and be like, do you feel that?
I'll like wake up. Yes.
Do you think we should wake up the rest?
About what? Why?
I mean, we're under some rocks and they're shaking.
Starting to shake more.
We're made of squishy bone and meat, not metal.
Oh, doesn't seem to be an earthquake.
Wake up the rest of the group anyway. The last ship, close enough to the time they're gonna wake up.
Yeah, it's a little early, but yeah, you start shaking people awake. As you guys wake up, you do feel like at first you're like, oh, why is someone waking me up? But then you feel the earth, like the tunnel shaking. Seraph like shoots his eyes open and sits up straight and is looking around like, wait, what's going on? Why is this tunnel shaking? And it's shaking pretty hard now. It's starting to get really bad.
What is
Oh man, I knew it.
I was when I would be waking people up.
Yes, like it starts shaking like really badly, and Seraph gets up and he's like, okay, maybe we should like go. I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's happening. I don't know why it's shaking like this.
Where can we go?
Up forward? I don't know, just away from this spot? I don't know where it's coming from. I don't really want to find out if it's something coming to us. So I guess just move forward. And even like as he's taking a few steps, like kind of going in that direction, kind of being like, come on guys, like, quick. The tunnel in front of him starts to collapse. And the tunnel behind you guys starts to collapse. And the whole section that you guys are in starts to fall. I'd like everyone to roll a dex saving throw, please.
Oh no.
Shamid, Crow, Shyla, and Xavier, you each take 4 points of bludgeoning damage as you fall here. So this is like the remains of the tunnel. And you're all kind of like caught, like some of you took like some pretty bad damage from like rocks falling on you, and you're all coughing because like there's just dust everywhere. And it's kind of really dark right now. And yeah, like you can't really see much past your face. Like you can see that there's people around you, but like you're all like coughing and hacking, and I'm glad to be alive, honestly.
Does having dark vision help?
So like after a few moments, the dust does start to settle, and yeah, having dark vision, you can see what I've shown, so you can see the like rubble on both sides of you. and you can also notice that there seems to be like an opening to like the wall that you're in now, going like up to the north.
I tell everyone there's an opening in the wall over there going up to the north.
And it seems like that's the only way to go. Like you're boxed in.
That's the only way to go. We're boxed in.
Shit, I also have dark vision now that I picked my archetype.
Oh, nice. So yeah, out of curiosity, who has dark vision right now? So that was Shamid and Aspen. Yeah, so right now, only Aspen and Shamid can see. Everyone else, it is dark. Like you can barely see in front of you. It is dark. Okay, so yeah, who was that? Shamid that found the hole?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, Shamid, you kind of like say, hey, there's a hole over here, and you notice that you turn back to everyone. And you notice that everyone's kind of like moving their hands around, like feeling the wall, feeling like, oh, there's a person right there. Yeah, it's dark.
The light on Pro.
Make him a bright chicken.
Make my eyes brighter.
Yep.
Brighter.
Okay, wait. So you're putting light on Crow.
Yep.
Yeah, you put on Crow's eyes, and it makes like eye beams basically. Except it does more than that. It actually makes the light that you see. So yeah. So now you can all see around you. Although you all kind of like squint because it's like very bright compared to how dark it was. So you all kind of squint and like cover your eyes for a second. After a moment, you kind of lower your arms and you look around, and you all now see that there's like rubble everywhere. And there's only like a little opening going towards the north, like Shaman had said. Sarah kind of looks at that opening and he goes, I don't think we're all going to fit through that hole. So it looks pretty small. I'd say with how small it looks, the only people that could fit in it without like having to demolish some of it would be Pidge. Silas should be able to fit. Stool and Eldith are the only ones that probably could fit through that hole at the moment.
Can you send Pidge ahead as a scout?
Pidge doesn't talk. I could go to scout. Well, I can't really see though.
Maybe I can put light on your head.
Yeah.
Going first. I can go first.
With
my eyes as a flashlight.
Yeah, I was gonna say you won't be able to fit through the hole, but you can like look through the hole.
Yeah, I'll do that.
Pidge takes some of the rope that he has in his pack and ties it around his waist, and then hands the other end to Crow, and then walks into the hole.
Oh, okay, yeah. So you just walk through the hole, and Crow, you kind of like put your head through it to like show light. So Pidge, you can see ahead of you, at least as far as the light would go. So Pidge, you notice as you go a little bit farther in, it's kind of like this like rounded room. It looks like from like just with the amount of light that you have, you can tell that there might be more of like a tunnel kind of formation down here. Your rope would be able to take you that deep, but as you kind of look back at the like little entrance that you see, you notice that the rubble looks like it could be easy to break down, but you do look up at the ceiling and you notice that like you have to be careful though, because you could cause another cave-in. So you or someone else could potentially make the opening wider. You just have to be careful.
Can I try to sleight of hand a avalanche of sorts to clear the path?
I think it'll take kind of a mixture of sleight of hand and survival. Be able to choose the right rock and then pry it off.
Okay.
So go ahead and roll a survival check first to see if you can like figure out a good spot to basically make a mini avalanche, and then roll a sleight of hand. So
oh man, bad rolls.
You kind of look around and you notice that like there's a few spots that you could choose from, but it seems like the ones that like would make the most sense are too high for you. So you kind of choose one that's a little closer to you, thinking like, okay, if I can at least make the hole a little bigger, then like someone medium sized could fit in. Like maybe not Crow, but like maybe Xavier or Aspen could fit through. Okay. And as you pull that rock that you think would work, like a couple rocks do start to fall, and it makes the opening, but like more rocks than you were expecting start to fall. I'd like you to make another dex save.
Yeah, I gotta stop rolling through this. These
So you kind of like try and like you see the rocks starting to fall, and you like you're surprised. Like you try to like dodge out of the way, but a few of them do hit you. You're gonna take another 3 points of bludgeoning damage, as a few of the rocks kind of like fall on your head.
Okay.
But
I yanked twice on the rope.
Yeah. Well, I will say, even though like that like little mini avalanche happens, you do get what you wanted out of it, and that like the hole is much bigger now. So so everyone can go through. It might be a little hard still for like Prince Darendel and Crow, since they're a bit bulkier, but you can still get through.
Okay, I still yank twice on the rope, and then I lay down on my back and cross my arms.
And Crow is just standing there watching you do this. Like, the light is
That's
pointed
fine.
at you as you're doing this. Okay, yeah, so you guys can go through. Sarah kind of like looks through the hole and kind of looks back at the rubble and goes, I don't know where this is. We're a little deeper into the tunnels than I was expecting.
I asked him what lives in the tunnels.
I don't know. Like I said, I don't know this area.
Where were we supposed to be going?
Well, the direction we were going was right, but I guess I don't know how a cave-in happened, but we seem to have dropped a level lower than where we were, so we're in a different tunnel system. So we obviously can't go anywhere but this way. So I guess we have to just kind of go through this way and see if we can get out. And even though Pidge was able to find like spots to be able to create his own cave-in, the rubble that's like to either side of you guys in that tunnel does not seem stable whatsoever. Like, if you touch one stone, it might cause a cave-in to like completely bury you. Very tenuous.
I'm gonna try and follow Pidge through the hole.
Yeah, like the hole's big enough for all of you to go through now.
Let's not worry about Prince Zarendel.
He can get through. It's just gonna be a little tight.
Okay.
So he probably waits until like everyone goes through, and like Crow, you do the same. You wait until everyone goes through before you both go through, because you're afraid if you like hit your shoulder too hard on like one of the edges, it could cause another cave-in. And you're able to get through. Like, you don't have to make a roll or anything. Like, you're just more careful getting through it.
Great. Onwards. Also, a part of my archetype now is I can see in the dark, and also things that rely on dark vision to see me can't see me. I'm invisible to any creature that relies on dark vision to see me in that darkness. So there's light.
It's the John Cena class.
You can't see me.
Okay, so you go into this little rounded room, and you do notice as you go a little farther in that this like tunnel formation kind of veers to the left and to the right a little farther in.
Can I go to like the fork and see if I can perceive any difference? One is cooler air or something.
Roll a perception check. You're kind of standing there, and you're kind of like you put your finger in your mouth and hold it up, kind of a thing, to feel air, and you can't really tell, but you're like, I'm pretty sure it's to the right. I think the right is the way we're supposed to go.
God, that means we should have gone left, huh?
I mean, the air is telling you go right. So that's up to you to figure out if like you trust the air or...
I'm gonna get a second and third opinion. I'm gonna call the rest of the group up, maybe.
I'll follow.
Pidge is being dragged behind Crow.
Okay, yeah, so you all get to that crossroads. What do you do?
I ask them, I'm feeling the right path, but what do you guys think?
Oh, if you're feeling the right path, I don't know why you won't go with it.
At the end, since the dragon, we all die.
I'll cast guidance on Aspen.
Okay, so yeah, Crow kind of puts his hand on your shoulder, Aspen, and you feel like this energy kind of go through you. I'd say survival if you're kind of going more for the like what's the best way out kind of aspect. So you thought you felt the wind, but then you're like, no, that wasn't the wind. I don't know what I was feeling. You're not sure. It's really hard to tell just by looking.
Oh god. Alright, then I guess just based on what my character would do in game, I'd still go right, but let's take a vote.
Okay, so who wants to go towards the right?
I raise my hand.
Just want to follow Aspen.
Okay.
Same.
Okay, yeah. So it sounds like you guys are going right.
Alright, I go down the fucking tunnel.
Yep. I mean, you feel pretty good about it. Like, you're not sure, but like, nothing's jumped at you, so that's fine.
Oh, this is making me very afraid.
Yeah. See, as you're going down, you kind of like. I will say, like, as you're going down this tunnel, you do hear dripping quite a bit. Like there's like a constant dripping noise kind of happening all around. You actually notice that like this tunnel is kind of wet. Like you're as you're walking, you do feel like there's a little bit of water on the ground. You're guessing that like it's probably just like the dripping that you're hearing. Maybe there's like some sort of a body of water above you guys. You're not really sure.
Hey, water.
But as you continue going down, you do notice that like it does kind of like go at a dead end. It just seems like this is like an alcove of the tunnels. Can you make another survival check? So you feel like dripping, right? Like this entire time, and you kind of like go ow. And you feel like a bug bit you, but then you kind of look around and you're like, wait, why would there be bugs in a tunnel like this? Like, you haven't seen bugs at all in the Underdark. And as you kind of look back, you, like, look around, like, well, I just asked, like, how do you react to, like, feeling like you just got stung?
I'm gonna say that because I'm kind of like a woodsy ranger life, I immediately know something's wrong because I've been kind of missing the flora and fauna of the upper world.
Then why don't you roll a perception check with advantage then, as you kind of like quickly look around, like, wait, what's going on? Like, why did I feel that sting?
Yeah, I also have dark vision, so maybe I see something.
Hey, this time you actually will be using the advantage. 19. As you look around, you actually look up because you're like, wait, okay, so if it's dripping, it's coming from the ceiling. And as you look up at the ceiling, you notice that, like, the water is gray, and you are able to, like, kind of have one surprise around, like, just you, as you do notice a gray ooze kind of drip off from the ceiling and, like, about to land on you and Crow. Before I have you guys roll initiative, Aspen, you have a round right now.
I'm going to...
So he's, like, falling in the air right now. He's, like, he's almost gonna hit you.
Oh no! I'm gonna cast Ensnaring Strike?
So yeah, you cast this on it, and then you can obviously still have a turn. Like, that's just a bonus action.
Okay, so I'm going to hack at it with my hand axe.
Okay, so let me go ahead and see if he succeeds the strength save.
Oops, I hit it already.
Yeah, he fails it. So he's definitely ensnared. So yeah, that hits. So you just kind of like you see this great ooze falling from the ceiling, and you like immediately react by like putting your hand out, and you see these like kind of green vines sprout from it, and you haven't done this before. So you see like green vines just swarm out of your hand and envelope the gray ooze, which doesn't really make much sense because it just seems so liquid. But like it magically wraps it up, and as it's falling and like kind of twisting in these vines, you grab with your other hand, your hand axe, and just swipe it right through the middle and deal some damage.
Sounds very cool of me.
So first up is gonna be Pitch. So at this point, the great ooze has fallen onto the ground, and it's kind of like wrapped up in these vines.
Does it see me?
No, it doesn't.
Okay, I guess I am going to sneak attack it and use Assassinate.
Oh, I guess that's an auto crit, isn't it?
Yeah, it's an auto crit.
Yeah, go ahead and do
So
damage
do I
then.
double 20 damage.
Okay, so this is what happens. Aspen like shoots these vines and then smacks it with the hand axe, and it falls to the ground. You immediately like see this, dart over, slash with your dagger, and like plant that like little combustible that you're talking about. You just like slash, plant, jump back. All of a sudden, poof, and there's nothing left. It's dead.
Pitch kind of like chitters and like shoves his explosives back into his feathers and like tucks himself back and looks at the group.
You kill it, and then you kind of look around and you see like there's dripping, but there doesn't seem to be like that kind of grayish looking liquid coming off. It's just water. Sarah definitely is looking around like, okay, I didn't know that there were oozes in this area.
Sarah, I don't want to sound ungrateful, but you haven't known a lot of things lately.
I don't blame you for saying that, but you do have to take my word for it that these creatures don't usually show up here. At least not in this area of the Underdark.
Maybe we should kill him. Give him a break.
What did you say? Give them a break?
Yeah, give him a break.
What do you... Oh, me. Give me a break.
Yeah.
He kind of looks at you and like narrows his eyes a little like, okay. Well, I'm sorry if I haven't been a good guide. I've been trying my best. I don't know the whole Underdark that well. Just as much as I can from my experience.
I have another question. What attracts slimes?
They're kind of mindless. They usually just wander, and when something appears near it, they go to it. They go to food. Otherwise, I don't think they really have much attraction to anything. They just like to digest. That's what they do. Well, I for one would rather not just stand here and wait for another slime to drip down on us. So we probably should turn back around and head the other way, I suppose.
I agree.
Supposed survival leader of this tunnel, lead the way. And he's pointing to you, Aspen.
Oh, great. Okay. I kind of like chuckle sheepishly, and I'm just gonna draw Pidge closer to me, because now I think that he's some sort of magical figure.
So yeah, as you go, you find yourself in a room. So there seems to be like a squarish room, and it's pretty cut. Like it's not like the rough tunnels that you've been traveling through. This actually seems like it's been like whittled down into like this very cubicle room like space, and you do notice that there's like another. I'm calling it hallway now because it's very man-made almost, heading farther north.
I go, hey guys, come look at this shit.
I come over to look at that shit.
Aspen, as you're like calling people over, and you probably are like looking around again, just like make sure that the space is okay. Why don't you go ahead and roll another survival check? It'll be a survival check plus your D4 from the spell. Okay, so 14. Yeah, you look around again, and you feel like, I mean, you see dripping, but for the most part, it seems fine. One thing I will say with a 14, you're starting to notice that like there's a lot more water in this area. Like there's actually like an inch or so of water in like certain spots. Like this ground isn't completely flat. Like there are some like kind of divots in the ground, and water's pooled up in those areas. So you're starting to notice like there's a bit more water around.
That makes me concerned we're going deeper underground, and I express this to my fellow explorers. The only way...
Yes, I do believe that this is the only way that we can go. I haven't seen any other exit so far. Well, this is a little concerning to me.
Hopefully it goes down, then up, like the Holland Tunnel. Alright.
You start heading north?
Yeah, I will.
Pidge, as you're kind of like following Aspen down this like room and into the tunnel, can you roll a dex saving throw, please? Be nimble, be quick.
Dirty 20.
Yes. You feel a drop land on your head, and you like quickly look up and skirt off to the side as another great ooze falls in front of you.
I'm gonna tell Pidge to do the thing again.
Except the great ooze is like right in front of Pidge this time. So we'll go ahead and continue down the initiative order. So Pidge had gone. So Xavier, I mean, you're way in the back. You probably could muscle your way through these people if you would like. Although you might not even know necessarily that this is happening.
Knowing me, I'm probably still dejected from the conversation about making food and I couldn't. I'm probably still slumping back in the back, not even worrying about what's going on.
Like, I can't believe I farted.
I'm just there, like, holding stool on my shoulder.
Then Crow, it is your turn.
I mean, can I even move forward?
Like I said, there's just enough space that you can like squeeze past these guys if you would like.
Okay, I'll do that.
You see like these gray tendrils waving.
I mean, are they attacking anyone?
It's going to when it gets to its turn. It looks like it's gonna attack Pidge.
I'll attack with my mace.
Go for it.
15 plus 4
Hits.
1
Hits.
1. That is 1d6 plus 2, 5 points of damage.
Okay. And what were you using?
A mace, bludgeoning.
So yeah, you gotta like slap this ooze with your mace, and it seems to have taken some damage. Okay, so it's your turn, Shami.
I'm just going to sort of reach around with my rapier.
Okay.
Wait, can I get to it?
So I know there's like a corner, but you can stand next to Pidge, like right here. There would be enough room for you to be able to stand there, especially since Pidge is pretty small.
And then I'm like half standing over, and I'm just gonna go in and my rapier, because, why not?
Yeah, go for it.
Well, that's right, I don't have a rapier. I have a dagger and a longsword. I guess I'll do a longsword then.
That misses.
Well.
So yeah, you kind of just like, you try to slash with it, but like you're kind of awkward being on top of Pidge practically, so you're like trying not to like slash him also or step on him, and it doesn't really work too well. Alright, Scylla.
Could I even see anything that's going on? It's still pitch black, right?
Crow has the light. Yeah, Crow has light, so you should be able to see. And Pidge is pretty small, so you can see the gray goose.
Okay, that is the information I needed. Then I'm going to use a cantrip.
Okay.
I'm going to use Acid Splash.
I have to make a dex save. Yeah, I failed. as you kind of like spray this acid and it goes over Pidge's head, you kind of notice that like it doesn't seem to be effective. Like it seems like not be as effective as it should be against this ooze, but you did do still some damage. All right, it is the ooze's turn. Finally, it is going to. One thing I will say that I forgot to mention, Crow, when you smacked the great ooze with your mace, you kind of heard like a sizzle, and when you brought the mace back up and looked at it, it looks like it's corroded a little bit from hitting its body. Crow, can you make sure you mark down that you have a -1 on that mace because it's been corroded. So it is going to launch its pseudopods at Pidge. It's going to make a pseudopod attack. Does a 15 hit?
It just hits.
No. Okay, so that's going to be 5 points of bludgeoning damage and 7 points of acid damage.
Jesus.
As you get like the both the concussive force of the pseudopod and this like acidic like liquid that is making up the body of the ooze burns where it slaps at you. Are you wearing armor?
Yes, I believe so.
Okay. You have to subtract 1 from your AC. From your armor AC. Because it corrodes the metal in the armor.
Actually, I don't see it in my items, but okay.
If you have armor.
I'm not sure. I'll have to check, but I'll write it down anyways.
Okay. All right. So that is its turn. Top of the round. Aspen, go ahead and do your turn.
Well, now I don't want to hit it with my axe because I saw that it corroded.
Yeah, crow's mace.
If I can entangle it, would it stay in one place? I'm gonna try and cast entangle on it.
Okay.
Strength saving throw.
That is going to be a 10.
I
Yeah,
think
it
so.
fails. Okay. So does that just mean that what does it? What happens now?
So now,
Entangled.
plants turn the ground into difficult terrain. Oh no, in a 20 square foot.
Oh, okay.
Starting from range, difficult terrain, and then it is restrained by the plant. It has to use its action to make a strength check.
Everything that is highlighted in that light is now difficult terrain. As like plants all of a sudden grow out of the stone. So Xavier, you're like just outside of it. You see these like plants kind of grow up, and it looks like they tangle up Sila's legs a little bit, and it's like happening to everyone else. It's not necessarily like him. It's not hurting you guys. It's just like making it harder for you to walk through it. So that is your turn. Now, Pidge, it is your turn.
I guess Pidge is just gonna kind of grumble angrily and slash at it with the sacrificial dagger he got.
Okay.
19 to hit.
Hits.
8 damage.
Alrighty, and put a -1 on that weapon, as it was corroded.
Okay, and then I'm gonna try to stealth.
Okay, can you roll a stealth check?
18 plus 8, so 26.
Okay, yeah, it can't see you. You are hidden. Alright, so it's your turn, Xavier.
How tall are these vines?
I mean, they're not tall, it's just kind of harder for you to walk through them. So it'll be difficult terrain.
Can I walk and still use my breath weapon?
Yeah, you can use your breath weapon.
Not be a...
I mean, here's the thing. Pidge is in front of the ooze. So,
It's just like half the height of me.
yes. But it's also lightning.
It wouldn't strike him if it went overhead.
I mean, the knowledge sounds like it would work that way, that it wouldn't hit him, but the spell says it's a 5-foot line, and Pidge is technically in that line.
Pidge looks up at you with puppy eyes as he anticipates what you're about to do.
So I know what you're saying. I know what you're saying, Lucas, but it will hit him if you do that.
Like, did you say puppy eyes there?
Yeah.
Yeah, like, Pidge looks up and sees you in slow motion approaching from above him, and just in his head is the, who can say where the day goes?
God, yeah. It's just like, and I just have these, like, I'm just staring at you while, like, crying.
So are you going to do it?
No, I don't,
Xavier, having sensed the Enya song from Pidge, now stares longingly at his sword and hears dee-do-da-dee.
Shoot it with my crossbow.
Yep.
Will I hit Pidge?
He's low enough.
I'm gonna move to here. If I move there, can I still...
And he has advantage, right?
No, it only says that it has to make strength saving.
Oh, or else they can't really do anything. Okay, yeah. So yeah, go ahead, Xavier, and roll an attack with your crossbow.
I got fuck.
Oh, we'll roll percentage dice then.
Oh!
Maybe you are going to hit Pidge after all.
I got 20%. Pidge, I'm sorry.
Roll damage for me.
I rolled a 1, so it's +3, so it's 4.
4. All right, Pidge, you take 4 damage.
Pidge is at 1 HP.
Oh my god.
You just hear me go, oh, and like
Everyone in the group glares at you.
I just shit myself. Oh,
Point blank, and then shat yourself.
Oh,
I
no.
was on such horror that I hit Pidge. I shat myself right there.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Well, that was a successful turn.
In what way?
In no way whatsoever. I was being very facetious.
Xavier just like falls to the ground, face down, like
It's
prostrate,
covered
like
in thorns.
Yeah.
full on sobbing, taking the thorns in, like
Oh my
doesn't
gosh.
care.
And he shat himself.
Yeah, and I
Oh.
shat myself.
Sila, I'm so sorry. You're right, and you're right behind him.
Oh, yeah.
It wasn't a Dexter episode, okay? It wasn't anything like that.
Not projectile poop?
No, I wasn't like plastering the area behind me.
Oh
Well, I
my
hope you're wearing pants.
I am wearing pants.
All right,
I'm
Crow.
not running around as a dragon butt naked.
Crow, it's your turn.
Contained.
Please save us from all this, Crow. Please.
Help.
Crow's probably like organic life forms are disgusting.
Yes.
I'm just like, the fuck? Come over here and kill the dead.
That's a wisdom save.
Correct.
Wisdom save, got a nat 20.
You got a nat 20?
He sure did.
20? What?
Yeah, I got a nat 20.
This tentacle.
Got a nat
It's a
20.
Tentacle got a nat 20.
Yes. Yes, I'm so sorry.
I simply refuse to believe it.
I'm just bringing all the bad luck.
Okay, then.
I thought I could make food and I farted and then I shot
Yep.
kids with a crossbow.
Yep.
Then I shit myself and fell into the vines.
Hey, it happens, man. It
I
happens.
guess that's the end of my turn.
Fine.
Okay.
Hey, we've all been there.
Yeah.
I haven't.
It seems like a non-universal experience to me.
Oh my
Matt,
gosh.
why aren't you recording this session?
Alright, Shami, it is your turn. Alright, so that's a wisdom save. Oh, it failed that one. I'm sorry, George. I'm sorry. I'm not doing this on purpose. Okay, 3 points of damage, and it has disadvantage on its next attack. Oh man, y'all. You were able to kill the last one in one hit. This one, you're struggling. Alright, so that's your turn. Next up is Aspen.
Okay, I'm gonna try and actually, you know what? This is concentration, so does that mean I can't do anything else?
You can do something else, you just can't do another concentration spell.
Okay, I see. Can I smack it with my axe?
Yeah, you'll have to get up to it, obviously. And you have advantage because of Vicious Mockery.
Okay, so I'm going to move over to it
Mm-hmm.
like this.
Do a little slashy slash. 19,
19.
yep, that hits.
Okay, and then my... okay, you know what? It's a... What was it? 1d6? Fuck, it's a 1.
What? Plus your strength or dex?
2.
Okay, so it's 3.
Wow.
Oh man, it's pretty small at this point. Like it's not looking good, but it is still up. And unfortunately, because you didn't kill it, it is its turn. So Pidge, it's gonna attack you. Well, no, you're still hidden. It wouldn't attack you, even though you have been hit. So I think it's gonna try and hit Aspen next because you are closest. Well, no, it has to make a strength save, doesn't it? I'll do a strength save first. It gets a 16, so it breaks out. But I think that uses up its turn, doesn't it?
I think so, and then I think that the vines disappear.
Yeah, because he
Because
made
frees
it.
itself.
Oh, good. So now I can lay on dirt.
That's all for him. Someone please,
Yeah, but you did use up his turn, so he wasn't able to hit you.
kill Pidge.
Okay. So Scylla, it is your turn.
Alright, I'm going to climb over Xavier. Cool.
Just leapfrog him.
I'm gonna do it very carefully so that I don't touch his poopy pants.
Yep.
So ugh, gross. And then I'm going to use poison spray because I am in range for that now.
Awesome. Con save. It gets a 15.
Oh, bitch.
Is that
I'm done.
a spell that doesn't do damage if it saves?
Yeah, it doesn't do
Oh.
half damage.
I'm sorry. So you rolled a 12 too.
Oh.
Okay, yeah, it makes it somehow. It somehow makes it. All right, top of the round then. Pidge, you're hidden. You're not feeling good, but it's still in front of you and it's still alive.
Pidge, I guess, is crawling on the ground at this point at it with the same dagger he stabbed at it before, and he's just gonna sneak attack it.
Yeah, go ahead. Roll your attack with advantage because you're sneaky.
Or is it 17 to hit?
Yeah, that hits. How do you kill it? Because it only had 1 HP.
It's not going to be interesting. It's so small at this point that Pidge crawls at it and just kind of with his knife and
Yeah.
it pops.
Oh my gosh. Okay. For the record,
And then he passes out on the ground.
Aspen, make sure that you put a -1 to your damage for your axe because it got corroded.
Okay.
And Pidge, add another -1 to your dagger. So that was a -2
Yeah, that
now.
knife's going away after this. It's
Okay, yeah. So after that, you all kind of take a moment, look around, hear dripping, think it's an ooze, but no more oozes.
Can I crawl over to Pidge and put my hand on him and use Cure Wounds? Like, still face down in the dirt, just one hand up.
Yeah. Go ahead and roll. Go ahead and roll for how much he heals for, and make sure you mark down that you use that spell slot.
Okay, so then he got.
Pidge, you heal for 10,
Hey.
and make sure you mark that you use that spell slot. Xavier.
I will. I'm just gonna mumble. I'm glad I could help in some way.
Oh.
Pitch smells the shit and takes 1 point of damage.
He kills over again. Oh my gosh. Okay, yeah. Like I said, you don't seem to. Doesn't seem to be any other oozes, and you have an open path ahead of you.
All right, let's keep going.
All right, Aspen, our fearless leader, continue the progress.
Trying to add the spell descriptions in, which is why I accidentally put that in the chat.
That's okay.
Onwards.
All right, let's go ahead and.
Oops, dragging someone with me.
I'm just dragging myself forward.
So you walk into this area that's again, it's still pretty like kind of man-made, like cut stone, and you see like some more areas that are like kind of deep with water, as it's like the ground is not super level. But what's really important, what you notice immediately, is that there's a giant ooze, just kind of chilling,
That's gelatinous cube.
or gelatinous cube, I mean.
I'm just gonna immediately run and jump in some of the water and clean myself off.
Oh my god, I thought you were gonna say jump into the ooze.
And Xavier's dead.
The cube kind of quivers and like starts to like slowly sloth
Quivers.
towards you.
It quivers. It starts to jiggle.
Ew.
It sloths towards you,
It's a
Xavier.
sensual ooze.
It's a sensual ooze.
Xavier, in your head, you hear "Hiya."
Oh, it's nice.
It's a sentient gelatinous cube.
I'm just gonna go.
A sentient, sensual ooze.
Who said there?
My name's Glabagool.
What?
What's your name?
What? Wait. Your name's what?
Glabagool.
Glab.
Yeah.
Well,
What's your name?
Xavier.
Hi, Xavier.
What can I do for you, Glabagool?
What are you doing here?
We're just on an adventure.
Are you guys lost? You have friends? Hi, friends. What's your names?
I think it's because you're in the water.
No,
I'm
you
just
can
gonna
hear
look
him.
at you.
Everyone can hear
Oh, we
him.
can all hear? Oh, okay.
Yep.
Hey, everybody! Meet Glabagool, the ooze.
I'm Glabagool. I'm a gelatinous cube.
Gelatinous cube. Sorry.
I go, that's nice, buddy.
Yeah, you want to be friends?
We love to be friends. We don't mean any harm.
Oh, that's okay. I didn't think you would hurt me.
I'm just gonna continue to wash myself off in the water here.
Why are you washing yourself?
He doesn't want to be dirty in front of you, Glabagool.
Yeah, I don't want to
Yeah.
be dirty.
He's not dirty.
He shit in his pants.
Oh, yeah.
Don't tell him that.
What does shit your pants mean?
Oh no.
He excreted bodily waste into his pantaloons.
What are pantaloons?
I defecated into my underdrawers.
What are
The
underdrawers?
fabric on his legs.
Oh, why do you wear those?
For
Protection.
and decency.
Anti-chafing.
Protection from the defecation?
Yes.
No,
I mean, technically.
It protects others from the defecation.
I'm just gonna put my head down and go. I did it because I was scared.
Oh, is defecation bad?
It is when you do it in somebody's face.
Ah,
Stop talking about my defecation, please.
What-
Glabagool,
what is
can
a
we help
face?
you with?
what is the face? Oh, no.
Kind of going down a weird rabbit hole here. Hi, it's nice to meet you. What are you doing in here?
Oh, I'm sorry. Well, this is my home. I've lived here for as long as I remember, which I think is like 3 hours.
Wow, good for you.
I know.
So old.
I know. It's my birthday today.
Well, happy birthday.
Yeah, happy birthday.
Thank you. I don't know what birthday means, and I don't know what to do, but it's my birthday, I think.
On your birthday, you help your friends. Are we friends, Glabagool?
We're friends.
Will you help us then, since it's your birthday?
Sure. What do you need help with?
We're a little lost. Direct us to the surface.
To this. What's a surface?
Above.
Above ground area, not the underdark.
Above ground. I don't know what you mean.
Guys, he's 3 hours old. Do you think he's gonna know how to get us out of here?
Well, he was born somewhere. Where'd you come from? Did you ooze your way here, or did you just appear?
Oh, I came from a crack in the wall.
Oh, so he came oozing out of a crack. That sounds much better.
Yeah.
Quick question. Are there more like you? More gelatinous cubes?
I haven't seen anyone else like me. I've seen some great little things, but nothing like me.
What else have you seen?
That's about it. Oh, I think I saw some black things too.
I'm gonna walk up out of the water slowly and just like hug him.
Bad idea.
It's very like slimy and like he kind of quivers like just from touch.
Ooh.
You take 8 points of poison damage or acid damage. As you like touch it, your skin just starts to burn immediately.
You shit yourself again.
What? Why did you touch me? Do you want me to hold you?
No,
You can join my friend inside of me, and you do notice that there's like a skeleton inside of him.
I hit myself again and jump back in the water.
Yeah, you notice that there's like a skeleton inside of him. There also seems to be some like random pieces of like coins and a mace. It's kind of floating in there.
How much damage?
I think I need a new mace.
Yeah, can we ask him to spit out the coins in the mace?
I'm sorry, did I hurt you?
Unfortunately, yes. I didn't know you would burn me.
Oh, I'm sorry.
You are okay.
What did you want from me? I would love to help.
We would really like the coins and the weapon that's inside of you.
Oh, the stuff inside of me? I can spit it out for you.
That would be wonderful.
Yeah, and he takes a couple seconds and just kind of like... It looks really nasty as he's hawking up these items and like quivering the whole time. But yeah, over like a minute or two, the things kind of like spill out in front of him. I'm assuming you proceed to like kind of splash water on the things to make sure there's no like residual acid on them. But you do
I'm
get...
gonna mumble to myself. I know I did some bad stuff, but at least it didn't look like that.
But from it, you do get 14 Electrum coins, the EP coins,
Okay.
and 1 mace.
Should we split the coins evenly among us, the player characters, not the NPCs?
I'm gonna hobble over to Crow and like bestow upon him the mace.
Does the mace look better than my current mace?
Yes, it looks better. As far as like being corroded, it doesn't look corroded.
I take that mace.
I shall divvy
You're
out
welcome.
the coins accordingly.
I hope you can use that better than the person that's inside of me. At least I think that the person inside of me used it.
So,
Oh, right, you want to escape. I can show you where the crack was that I came out of.
That was
I
wonderful.
don't think that's a good idea. If there's more of you, we might melt to death.
Oh no, there's no more of me. As far as I know, I'm the only one that exists in the world. I'm very special. Well, I don't remember. Oh, wait. I think it was a pool.
Pool?
Yeah. A big space with water.
Doesn't exactly sound like where we're going, but it sounds like a nice place to be from.
It's open.
I'm just gonna turn and look at Aspen and like nudge my head to the side and like do the finger around the ear symbol for like.
Come on, I'll show you. And he starts to like slither this way. He's kind of slow, but he's slithering.
We can't breathe in water. We can't live in it.
No,
like,
come on,
survive
it's
it
fine.
at all.
It's fine. I'll show you. Okay, so as he leads you guys, there's another like kind of square room with like that standing water, and like very slowly kind of slumping along. Like you see this like kind of narrower passage, and he just like morphs his body so that he can fit into it. As he goes into the room, you do notice another gray ooze slump from the ceiling and start to like move towards Glabagool. And like Glabagool doesn't really notice. He just kind of like runs over the great ooze, and you see the great ooze start to disintegrate inside the cube. And he goes, "Huh, that was weird."
Let's move this guy around.
I'm gonna like stare at Aspen in the face and be like, "Did you see that?"
I clapped. I'm like, that was great. I love that.
What happened? Why are you clapping?
You killed the ooze, the goo, the gray thing.
I did?
That's a good thing. It keeps us safe.
Oh,
That was trying to hurt us.
I'm glad that I'm helping.
Gabagoo.
I'll continue my progress then. And he continues to slide.
Can you? Is it possible for you to shrink? and
Yes.
be smaller?
And you can see that like this hallway that he revealed is like a lot narrower, and he just kind of schloops right into it and proceeds to go down it.
Guys, if he can break down into a smaller version of himself, maybe we could really use him to come along with us and disintegrate things.
That would be really great. I have a chest, but I think you might disintegrate it, but we could try. I have a little chest.
Well,
At this point, wait, Crow just jumps in. I believe we all have chests.
True.
Crow, but yours is an empty cavity.
I resent that statement.
Well,
As you guys get to
Xavier and taps Crow's chest, and then desperately tries to climb up onto Crow, but is probably failing.
No, I'll pick you up. I'll put you on my shoulder.
as you guys get to this area, it has taken a little bit of time to get here because Gabagool has gone fairly slow down this pathway. You do start to notice that like there's a bit more water over here. It's like about a foot deep at this point. He kind of like stops here and says, "So over there on the right is where I came from. It's a little bit of a water and there's a crack inside of it. I came from there, but it seems like there's other things over to the left here. Where do you want to go? We can go to where I was born.
Guys, where do we want to go, everybody?
Yeah, you want to go to my birthplace, or do you want to go on an adventure?
Oh man, we're already kind of on an adventure.
You are? Am I a part of it?
Yeah.
Hey, you
Right
both-
now you are.
That makes me so happy. This entire time, Sarah's been very uncomfortable, like standing in the back, like, I don't know how I feel about this, but he's not attacking us, so like that's fine, I guess. He kind of goes, well, we might want to just leave, right? Unless you want to spend a little bit more time trying to figure out this area. I mean, I am a little curious to see why this area is so man-made, but I mean,
I'm very curious. I would like to see what's over there.
you do notice that there's like aisles. Like it seems like there's like 4 different like aisles that go towards the east or towards the west.
What's down?
I'm going. I'm strolling.
Do you know what's down there, Gabagoo?
I don't know. I've never been down there. Shammy, you're going down with the aisles. Does anyone else go? Sila, you go down one.
I want to look down one, but I'm not going to go down one.
Okay.
What if they're booby trapped?
Well, I just wanted to know because like they're different like aisles, so I wasn't sure if like anyone's going in the same aisle, going in different aisles.
I'll take this one.
I'll take this one then, or that one.
Gabagool goes down this one. And the 3 of you, Shammy, Xavier, and Sila roll a perception check. Just to kind of like, as you're like walking down this aisle to see like what you could see, if there's anything. So as you go down these, aisles, Xavier, you feel like something's not right with these aisles, like something's gonna happen. But Sila and Shammy, can you both roll Dex saving throws, please?
Oh no.
As you continue, Xavier, you notice that the floor seems kind of unstable. Both Shammy and Sila fall into these like pits that all of a sudden appear, and Gabagool does too. Can the 2 of you also roll athletic checks to try and like grab onto like the lip of the pit?
Yeah.
Yeah, you both, like, as you fall, you kind of are expecting something to maybe happen, so you, like, quickly grab onto it, and you're just kind of hanging there. Xavier, you, like, kind of press down on, like, the spaces in front of you because you heard that noise, and you, like, the ground crumbles in front of you, and you look down, and you see that there is a black pudding at the bottom of it. And you guys have seen this when you were attacked at the bottom of that lake at Balkanvalve.
Oh no, that's the death pudding. I'm not going anywhere near that.
So Gabagool falls down and like just sucks up the black pudding, and it dies.
Oh,
So wonderful. We love you, Gabagool.
we love him.
MVP, am I right?
But
Is Gabagool dead or? Is
no, Gabagool's fine. Gabagool's fine. He definitely like you do hear him go, "Ow, that hurt." But yeah, he seems fine. But Scylla and Shammy, can you both roll athletic checks one more time to try and like climb your way back out?
Oh, I'm not gonna get that lucky twice.
Can I like go and try to assist them since I didn't fall in? I assume I would have been like, oh, I wonder if everyone else is okay and gone and checked on like.
Yeah.
I definitely started screaming as soon as the ground disappeared.
I mean, which way do you go? You can't go both ways.
I'm gonna run out and say, Crow, go down the third tunnel. I'm gonna go after Shammy.
I'll do that. I'll go down the third tunnel.
Be careful, they collapsed. Help them.
So as you're both trying to like climb your way back out, you're not strong enough to like pull yourself up. So then you kind of like almost fall down, but you're still able to like hold your grip just barely. The black puddings kind of sense the movement, and they're starting to like slop up on the wall and climb up the wall towards you.
Grab my hands.
Don't touch his hands, they're full of shit.
I washed my hands. It's
What's the
okay.
reach?
I'm clean.
Okay, yeah. Xavier, can you roll a strength? Just do a strength check to see if you can like pull Shammy out. 16? Yeah, you're able to like, kind of grab Shammy's arms and like haul her out of the pit. Did someone go down to Silas?
I'm in this one, the third one.
Okay, yeah.
But I'm going slowly and carefully to make sure I don't fall in or die.
Okay. Go ahead and roll a strength check as well as you try to pull Scylla up.
15.
Yeah, you're also able to kind of pull Scylla out from the pit as well. As you both get pulled out, the black puddings start to like they're almost at the top. They're like kind of reaching their pseudopods up a little bit and kind of feeling the like floor near your feet. The one on the second aisle is also kind of like starting to climb up. You can hear it slopping. Glabagul kind of like also comes out and he's like, "What are you guys doing? Didn't you want to go on an adventure?"
Well, there are the black puddings down our tunnels. We can't go further. They'll kill us.
Oh, you didn't come down this way. I killed the one that's here.
What?
Yeah.
I'll follow along.
Watch out. Watch your step. And he like just basically goes over the pit because he's so big. He could just go over it.
It just slides over.
Basically, yeah.
Well, I guess we're gonna follow Glabadoo on this one, huh, guys?
I think he's taking us on an adventure.
Yeah, an
Are
adventure.
these pits? Can we just jump over these pits once we know they're there?
It's like 5 feet across, so you all should be able to jump over that. There does seem to be like a door of a sort, and Glabagul kind of like hits it and stops and goes, "I can't go through this. Wait, hold on." And you see him like, you hear like a noise as like he starts sliding under the door.
Slorchy noises.
We didn't watch that happen for like 5 minutes as it just.
Yeah, it takes a few minutes for him to do
Does
that.
the skeleton that's in him just squeeze out
Yeah.
all the ground?
Yeah. Yeah, the skeleton's on the ground now.
I go to open the door so that we can follow.
Well,
Do you want this skeleton back, Glabagul?
so
Yeah, your friend got left behind.
so at first, like he finally gets through, and you're kind of waiting, and then you kind of hear him like muffled say, "Are you guys coming?"
I go to open the door.
No, you just squeeze through the bottom.
Our bodies don't work like that, buddy.
Oh,
We got too many bones.
I'm sorry. Oh yeah, I must have missed my bones. I think I dropped them.
Yeah.
Are they your bones or are they your friend's bones?
I don't know.
Bones.
Do I have bones?
Basically, he owns them.
I don't know if they're his bones now. Yeah.
I think it takes. He kind of like you hear like a slap noise as like his body hits the door, and he goes, "This is gonna take a little while. Do you mind waiting just a little bit?"
Yeah, just dissolve it.
Okay, just give me a little bit of just give me a few minutes. I'll and he just sounds like he's having fun, like just like burning the door basically.
I can imagine him quivering and like.
Is it vibrating? Is there a lock on the door?
No, it's actually it's actually a stone like pillar basically that he's like eating through, And it takes him like 20 minutes because it's stone. Not exactly a easy to digest material. But he does it. Like if you guys are willing to wait 20 minutes, he does eat through the door.
We take a short rest while we eat
Yeah.
the door.
It's just all waiting for him to eat through the door.
So as the door finishes, he's kind of like, there you guys are. Why couldn't you fit under there? Do your bones really not work that way?
Yeah,
We're not as cool as you are.
Oh, that's sad.
Someone show him squish me.
As he kind of like slurps around the room, you see like this big fountain in the middle of it, and he kind of like turns his body very slowly and he goes, "Oh, by the way, those statues on that fountain, I think they are little Uzi guys. Do you want me to slurp them up?"
Yes,
The gray
please.
one?
Yes.
Yeah, they're gray ones.
Oh, okay, have yourself a snack, buddy.
And yeah, like there's these like statues all along the fountain, and he just one at a time slurps them up, and they disintegrate in his body.
So glad we didn't just attack him on sight like we do with literally every other enemy.
Yeah.
I'm so glad it took me shitting myself and having to jump in a pond to make a friend.
I'm really full.
Oh.
I don't feel that great.
Oh,
No.
And you kind of like see like gray jelly like start to ooze out from under him.
ooh.
Ooh.
I'm sorry.
Well, no, I think you just shat yourself.
I think I defecated. I'm sorry, I don't have pants.
That's okay. You can still do it without pants.
Yeah, you're okay, buddy.
Oh, okay. Does anyone go near the fountain now that there's no Uzis?
Yeah, I
Around
want to
it.
go look in it.
Okay.
Yeah, Shammy and Xavier, why don't you roll perception checks?
I'm also looking, so I'll...
Yeah, go ahead. Yep, anyone that's looking.
Mm,
Ooh, a dirty 20.
dirty 20.
Dirty indeed.
Oh, well. Now we know I'm stupid and
You're just too preoccupied with Glabagool at the moment.
I love him. I want to give him a hug again.
No,
yeah, I mean,
no.
you can if you want.
No, I know
Hold
I
back if he
can't.
does that.
Shammy, as you look into the, like, everyone's looking in the fountain, but Shammy, you're the one that kind of like is able to see in the water more clearly, and you do notice that there's actually quite a few things like deep inside the water. Like you'd have to like get into the fountain. It's actually a pretty deep fountain, but
I'm gonna jump in and swim.
as you go in and you are that person that goes into malls and goes into the fountain and picks the like, coins out from the bottom, and then the mall cops come and you have to like run. That's basically
Yep.
how I'm imagining you doing this. Like you find some coins, you like put it in your pocket. Oh, you find a dagger, you stuff that too. Like you're just doing that for a while. In total, you find 112 silver, 41 gold, 3 green gold bracelets that are worth 25 each, 25 gold. You find 1 dagger, and you find 2 potions.
Just holding
Not-
the crap over there like Gollum finding a ring.
Not necessarily potions of healing. You don't know what kind they are. What they are. They're just like 2 vials of something.
Pidge chirps excitedly at the coins and starts shoving them into his feathers, and food provisions just kind of start falling out of him as he does it. Does Pidge see the dagger when it goes in the pocket?
I mean, unless Aspen's being sneaky about it, or not Aspen,
Not me.
Shammy.
I'm just gonna turn to Aspen and be like, what do you think, like, who do you think made this? I mean, it's a fountain in a big room that was protected by a heavy door and booby traps? Like,
I wonder if it's like a drow wishing well or something.
I mean, yeah, but for what purpose?
I'm not insta-golding the bracelets. I'm gonna wear the bracelets. But I come back up and I will share all the silver. I'm gonna keep the
So
gold though.
fashionable.
3 bracelets at once.
Yeah, just write it in your inventory that they're worth 25 gold each, in case you ever want to.
Just stacked them on your arm, like.
Yeah.
What's 112 divided 6 ways?
Oh, I have no idea.
I will do math. There are 6 of us, right? Did I count us right?
Yeah. Well, unless you
Okay,
want to count
that's
Glabagool.
20 silver each.
Do you want to count Glabagool?
Yeah, sure. Glabagool 2. Divided by 7. 16 silver each.
Glabagool just sucks up the silver and it floats in his body.
I kept the gold though. I was like, wow, there's a lot of
I'm
silver
gonna-
down there.
Not a
I'm
silver.
gonna lean over to Sila and go, is he even gonna use that?
It's his birthday. It makes him feel nice.
I guess.
Yeah.
Does anyone need a regular dagger? I say as I keep the spider dagger for myself.
Actually,
Pitch pops up and down.
I give you the regular dagger.
so I will say, because you will kind of notice that this dagger, the spider dagger, feels a little different. What I'll tell you right away this, and then as a character you would realize it. It is a +1 dagger. It is a magical weapon. You can add +1 to your hit to damage dice and attack rolls with it.
I'm gonna make a wish and then flip the coin into the fountain
Roll percentage dice.
to pay respects. 80.
Yeah, you do that. Make a wish. Gabagool kind of like starts to move towards the door and go, well, that was fun. Let's go ahead and I'll show you the crack now.
But we still haven't gotten there?
No, it was the other way.
Oh, okay.
Alright, yeah, let's go.
This was an adventure.
How did you feel about your first adventure?
Buddy.
It was fun. I got coins.
Yeah. Happy birthday.
Thank you. So he starts to lead you back the way you came, and you notice that there's like a black pudding like that kind of made its way out from the pit, and Gabagool just like runs over it.
You okay there, Gabagool?
My stomach hurts, but I'll be okay.
Try not to eat anything else.
I'm sorry, it got in my way. Next time I'll leave it alone. Yeah, and as he leads you into like this like little cave area that is filled with water, and he like kind of slops into the water, and you hear his voice kind of like with like a water effect because he's underwater go, I found the crack over here. I think there's a bigger hole though. You all can see like actually like because the water is actually pretty crystal clear, believe it or not. When you look into the water, you actually do notice that like a little bit farther in near the crack that he was talking about, there's a very big hole. And it looks like the water actually is starting to rise a little bit.
Who among us can hold their breath for the longest? Probably Gabagool. Can we?
Gabagool isn't even breathing, man. You just chill in the water.
Crow? Does
Okay.
Crow even breathe?
Well, he's a machine, so I don't know how water.
I mean, I'm imagining like Crow can speak for himself, but I'm imagining that like water doesn't really affect him. I mean, maybe if he stays in water for a very long time, it would, but like it wouldn't affect him too much.
No, I don't need to breathe.
Maybe we should have Crow follow through the big hole and see how far it is and if we can make it and yada yada.
If there's like a cavern on the other side.
Yeah. A pocket of air.
Okay, so Crow, do you follow Gabagool into the water?
Sure.
Yeah, so Gabagool kind of leads because he sees the hole too, and he goes, "Oh, look at that hole!" He goes into the hole, and he kind of has to squeeze into it. Crow, you can swim into it fine. After about 30 feet of swimming, you do actually resurface into another like kind of alcove, and you actually did have to swim up at one point, which is why you think that the water is starting to drain into this area. And it doesn't look like a natural hole; like it looks like it was like chipped away. And this like natural body of water that you're assuming was where Gabagool came from is emptying into the area that you guys were in. But yeah, it looks like you swimming up, you have a pretty good idea that like you're back up to that level that you were at before the cave-in happened. So it seems like it's a good spot. Gabagool kind of like floats on the top of the water like an iceberg and says, "Is this okay? Is this where you wanted to go?"
I'm not sure.
Okay, well I'll wait here for you then. If you want to go back to our friends.
Yeah, I'll go back to them and I'll tell them what I saw.
That's what we're trying to get, right?
Sareth goes, yes, if it's going up like you say, then that's probably the best way to get out.
Alright guys, come on.
Yeah, and 30 feet, it's not too difficult for any of you to swim through. I think Pidge might have a little bit of a difficulty, but if like Crow's holding him or something while you're swimming, then yeah, he'll be okay. Like Crow, you might be a little, or Pidge, you might be a little lightheaded when you surface because you probably can't hold your little bird lungs that long, but you'll be fine. Yeah, and when you guys resurface back up to like this little alcove, this little lake that definitely is lower than it probably should be because you see like wet rock a little bit higher up from where the water level is. You do notice that there is a little bit of just a little bit of stone, like a flat stone area, and then followed by like a tunnel that continues on. And that is where we're going to end our session.